of cinnamon, but it does mix well with those other things. So I'm gonna put 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, like more like a pinch, because you don't need a whole lot of that. And then I'm gonna put the top back on it. It smells good though. Oh gosh, it smells good. Woo, smells holiday. It smells like holidays. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. And now she's ready. Taste it, of course. If you're doing this at home, you wanna taste it. So it's gonna be good, but I'll taste it anyway. So it's not really that sweet. It's not that sweet, but it's very spicy. So I like it. So if you like it, you know, at that point you just taste it. You don't have a bullet. Yeah, you can use a regular blender, or you could use the food processor, but because you're gonna strain it anyway, so it might have to mix a little longer. It takes about 70 seconds on that NutriBullet, but it might take you a little bit longer on your blender. But yeah, it does the same thing. All right, so that's done. Hey Barbara, how are you? So that's done. So now I showed you last night, but those who didn't tune in last night, I just purchased my first time using one of the eco bags. I got it from Mom's. This bag is to help so that I can strain all the pieces out of this and put it into my jar and go ahead and store it. If you don't have this eco bag, I can't remember, it was maybe $4.99 or something like that. Maybe $4.99, but if you don't have this, you can use cheesecloth, which I have as well. You can use cheesecloth. The cheesecloth, the only problem I had is that it's like rectangular. It's like this, right? And so putting it over that circle, I had to hold it, or you have to put a rubber band or something around it to hold it in place. So I was making a mess. So I went and bought this bag. I also have used a paper towel. If you're at home and you have everything but the cheesecloth or the bag, I use the paper towel. Same concept. You just have to hold it or put a rubber band around the top to hold it while you pour the milk in. And I've used a coffee filter, because if it filtered coffee, it can filter this, right? So I've used all those things before. So now I'm gonna shake her up again. I'm gonna open this bag. This bag is recyclable, so it's like a little investment. $4.99, and you can reuse it. Right? So, and I'm just gonna sit this bag inside my jar. And then I'm just gonna pour it in and talk to you guys while this goes in. Shake it up again, make sure my spices and stuff are in there good, and then I'm just gonna pour. Simple as that. Didn't have to go to the store. Oh, yeah, it is a big bag. This is really cool. I'm glad I got this, because look, now you just pour. So with the cheese, with the other, like the cheesecloth and stuff, you can only pour a little bit at a time. But with this, you could just pour and it just drains it. Like, this is amazing. So let me pour it and then I'll show you. This is like super cool. My friend Angie told me to buy this. I don't think she's on, but Angie. Hey, Gary. Yeah, easy, right? Girl. So it saves you, and so it just drains, see? Amazing. I'm just, like, this is so cool. At the end of this, you got your almond milk. You can, Kiki, I told you I was gonna do pumpkin. I just didn't do the pumpkin, so I'll do it later on this week. This is only gonna last me for 3 days or so. It's not even gonna last 3 days because I have to, well, this might last 3 days. I'm gonna make another jar for my client. So, yep. It's gonna stay here and drain. You push, you know, as it goes in, you have those pieces of almonds. So you just kind of put, I keep getting milk everywhere. You just push. You just like squeeze it and it just goes right on in. This is I'm glad Angie told me to buy this, because this thing is way easier. So you just, look, milk. So I'm just gonna squeeze those shavings down in there. The dates make it sweeter, yes. So the almonds, you know, by itself is really, it's nutty. but the dates sweeten it. If you don't have dates, if you use sugar, unless you're diabetic or something, I ain't gonna say nothing. But the dates do make it sweet. Or anything else, agave, honey, anything like that. Anything you want to use to sweeten it. You can make it taste like whatever. So chocolate, if you wanted to add cocoa powder or something, cacao powder to it, you can do that. Make chocolate milk. You can add strawberries to it, make strawberry milk. You could, whatever it is that you want it to taste like. And as I'm doing this, that's one of the things I try to talk about with people. We put ourselves in a box. We think we only have to have things one way. Whatever you want to taste, you make it taste like that. You want it to taste like anything, a dessert, if milk, whatever, just create that thing. But this is more healthy than drinking cow's milk, which I won't get into right now, but this is more healthy and it's really good. It doesn't bother your tummy. If you're lactose intolerant, you can still have your milk. Hey Shanette, you said, oh, it lasts about 3 days. Yeah, after about 3 days, I wouldn't drink it. You can freeze it. So for people who do smoothies, here's an idea. You could put it, Shanette, you're gonna bust out laughing when I say this. You can make ice cubes out of it and you can use it for your smoothie. So if you don't have ice cubes, like most people in America today, you can go to Michael's and get the silicone candy trays, like you make candy out of, and you can pop this milk right in there, pop it in the freezer, and then you'll have almond cubes for your smoothies. So at that point, you could add pieces of strawberry, you can add whatever to it, and then in the morning when you make your I know, Shanette, ice trays. Anyway, when you make your smoothie in the morning, you already have some of the flavors already. You have the ice, because you add ice to it anyway. Oh, well, I do, because I like it cold. You have your ice already. You have your milk, you have your sweetener. If you know the dates and it's healthy, it's still healthy, you can do that with it. So that's one way to preserve it. So if I were on day 2 and I took all this time, hey Super Nurse 1 on IG, how are you? If I took all this time making this milk, then I wouldn't want to waste any. So yep, just change it into cubes and use it for your smoothies. Hey Tracy, how are you? All right, so I'm still squeezing because I'm cheap and it's really good. So I'm still squeezing, and then you're gonna have left the shavings. So that's what you see right here. I have the shavings left, and if you were ambitious, you could take these shavings and make, if you didn't add sugar and things like that, you can make an almond flour. So you could dry these, put them in the food processor and turn it into a flour. So you don't waste any of it. Yep, you don't waste any of it. So that's something that we'll talk about a little bit later on. Let me just get you started with this part first. I'm saving the shavings, and they'll become a breading for something that I'm gonna make, probably eggplant or something. Well, I don't know, because it's kind of sweet, so I don't know, we'll see. All right, I'm almost done with this. It only yielded about half, so about 16 ounces with what I just did. So I'm gonna just repeat the process. Oh, you use it for flour too? Exactly, yep, use it for flour, I'm telling you. So you have taken those almonds, you made flour, and you made milk. You can't beat that, right? And you can buy from Aldi, so they're not even that expensive. So, one thing that people always say is being healthy is expensive. It's not expensive, it's time consuming. It just takes time to do this, but the way I look at it is I'm worth it. I deserve a chef standing in my kitchen making me homemade almond milk, right? It's a privilege. So I consider it, although it is work, I consider it a privilege to be able to cook for myself and make something that's this yummy, and it has health benefits. It's a privilege. So again, like I was telling you earlier, it's about mindset. This whole healthy lifestyle is a mindset thing. If you're in it for any selfish reason, it might not last. If you're in it just to lose weight, that's not motivation enough. If you're in it to get into a dress for a wedding, not motivation enough, because when the wedding's over, your diet is over. If you are a part of this whole vegan fad, that's really, I guess it's cool to be a vegan, that doesn't last either. But when you put yourself first, when you say, I deserve this attention that I'm giving to myself, I deserve this time, I deserve these trips to the 2 supermarkets, and I deserve a personal chef in my kitchen preparing my meals, then it just changes your perspective. it becomes a joy. You become excited about making things like this and sharing it with the world, right? So that's one of the things that I am here to do. As much as I can, as often as I can, as passionate as I can, is to remind you that you are worth it. You're worth this time. All right? So, like I was telling you, I have about 16 ounces. So there were, oh, it smells so good. 2 cups of this water. So I use alkaline water. You use whatever water you choose, but this water is Amaze Balls. Evermore amazing. So 2 cups of water, 1 cup of almonds, 5 dates, a half a teaspoon of allspice, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, a quarter of a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a glass, and a willing vessel. And I have almond milk. That's it. I'll make some more for you. I'll show you. If I had the pumpkin, it just would have been orange, and it tastes like pumpkin spice. So that's the only thing, Kiki, I'm sorry. That's the only thing that's missing from this. But that's it. There you have it. And you can freeze it. If you use mason jars, like I was saying earlier about the ice cubes, if you use a mason jar, if you get to day 2 and you don't want to waste it, so you have this much left and you don't want to waste it, just put the whole mason jar in the freezer. As long as you had it in the dishwasher before it was sterile, just put the whole thing in the freezer and save it. And then when you're ready, just take it out and use it. That's it. Almond milk. There you have it. Any questions about this? Anybody, any comments? Anything else you want me to make for you? Anything you can think of? Easy peasy. I made this almond milk in less time than it would have taken me to go around the corner to the supermarket, stand in line, and bring it home, right? Just like that. Easy peasy. Any questions? Oh, you're welcome, baby. It was easy, right? That's all right. That's what we're here for. So, to educate, to empower. That's it. You got anything else you want me to make for you, Kiki, since no one else is asking? I will show you later this week. I froze those meatballs. Those who were tuned in yesterday, I froze those meatballs yesterday, and I'm just gonna make something this week. So my client liked the spaghetti and meatballs, so I'll probably do that and show you how they looked in the meatball, in the marinara. So we'll do that later on this week. And I have to make a veggie soup for my client, so I might do that. But anything else you guys can think of, if you can't think of it now, just shoot me an inbox. Say something to me on Facebook, and I will see, can I change it into something that's more healthy? Anything you want me to teach you or anything like that, just let me know, and I'm here for you. All right, no questions? You guys good? Told you I wouldn't keep you long. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Oh, vegan Thanksgiving ideas. So this part is super great to me because I'm not a vegan. I'll tell you, I just enjoy eating. I like food. So I am a pseudo vegan, and I enjoy coming up with vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian meal options. So for Thanksgiving, to replace the turkey, this is what I would do. One of the things I would do, you can have which I happen to have one right here, a butternut squash. So you want to make, because you're so used to having a turkey in the center of the table or a ham in the center of the table, choose something that's large enough so that it'll help your mind. You know, you won't feel like you're having a whole table of side dishes, right? So I would take this butternut squash. I would bake it in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes to make it easier for you to cut, because I don't know if those of you who use this a lot, it's very tough to cut through. So I would cut this in, after about 15 minutes, I would cut it in half. And the idea is to stuff this. So I would have 2 halves. I would bake it a little bit longer, maybe 15-20 minutes. I would take a fork, and for each half, I would fluff through just to loosen up some of the, loosen it up. Inside of it, I would stuff it, because stuffing is good. And if you're not opposed to stuffing, I would stuff it with maybe some already prepared stuffing, quinoa, just because you want to make it filling, sweet potatoes, some kale,